Part 5, the assembly of this arrow. I made a glass arrow. I showed you how to cut out in my other videos, showed you how to cut an arrowhead, how to lash an arrowhead to it. And now I've showed you how to make a plastic sleeve to fit a driveway stake type 3/4 inch shaft, and I ground it down a little bit so that it would fit the PVC, and I took a 1/4 inch oak dowel rod and I filled it full, I mean not all the way down but about halfway down, and cut it off so that this would slide onto here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a super glue to this, and this will finish our knot for today and our arrow lesson for today. Another day I'll upload you some more on arrow making, show you a lot of different ways to put arrows on or make arrows. And now let's see if it's gonna. Yep, now let's see if that's gonna let me get some glue in there. Yeah, it let me get some glue. I didn't want to waste that much. Well, we definitely seen it had some super glue. But here's what we want. We want to glue this on this piece. Notice I did a real neat job of whittling on that. I did a especially quick job on purpose, because you won't want to stand around messing around in the bush making these arrow knocks. When you're in a hurry, you ain't gonna have time to jack around with an arrow knock. Now I can turn this any way I want it right now. I think probably right there, or I could have it right here, right about here, and then I turn the arrow flat ways. It doesn't matter how, it just depends on the individual what they want. Okay, now I got to put the lock down on this, and we've got our arrow gluing in, or arrow knock gluing on. Once this is dried, we will have a decent knock there. The only thing that I could have done different was I should have, before I put that 1/4 inch rod in there, I should have glued that in too, and I didn't. But it's glued at the end down there, or right on the butt of that fiberglass one. When that cures in about 20 to 30 minutes, that'll be ready for use. This thing will be ready to do the job. Thought for a minute that something was magnetized on that cord holding me down. And there you have it. Let's see if it fits our shaft now the way I'd intended. I might have to work it out a little more, but we'll see. I couldn't hear that thump, but it did all go in there. All my string went in when I pushed against it. So that's going to be fine. But I don't want to shoot it yet because it's got a cure. I just wanted to see if that was going to fit it, and it does. Alright, I'll show you how the other one shoots. And I'll let this one cure, and I'll set up a target to finish this series today. Now, I've got videos up there on YouTube on how to make this bow, and I've wrote out directions, but I'm going to build another one for long, and I'll be showing you how to do it exactly. This right here is 1.25" PVC. I cut about 3/4 of a nipple out on it and heated it and bent it. I cut a piece out so it would snap on here. I taped it on there, and you could glue it on there if you wanted to. And I took and used a 1/2 inch PVC, split it down the middle on one side. Not both, just one, and then I took a 3/4 PVC, split it down the opposite side and turned them the opposite, so the splits was the opposite direction of the other, not together. You don't want the splits on the same side. Slip them together with cooking oil or some type of oil. I used cooking oil against that tree right there. I buttered the pipe up against it, and I drove them together with a mallet or a hammer. Or you can use a wedge. Sometimes I used a wooden wedge, a splitting wedge. Took the wide end and drove the plastic together to get it to go on there. It's a little hard getting them together, but once you get them together, the only reason you have to split them so they'll fit on schedule 40 together. Then you take and oil the 3/4 shaft up, slide it up inside of this one, inside of the 1 inch. Then you got your 100-pound bow just about built. All you need then is a 3/8 fishing rod or a 3/8 driveway stake, about 4 foot inside of here. You're going to wrap it with tape, duct tape, or some kind of tape, electrician tape, it don't matter. Some type of tape to make it fit so it don't slide up and down there, so it'll stay in here. You want your strength in here to here. I've got a fishing rod in this side of this one. No, this one, I take that back. I got a driveway stake inside of this one, I believe. But anyway, one of the other of them I built with a driveway stake. I think it was this one. I built 4 so far, 3 or 4. I made one for each of my nephews and nieces, and I have 2 nephews, 2 nieces, so that's 4, and then I made Carl one, my brother-in-law, so that's 5. So I've made 5 so far. Made this one for Jason, my oldest nephew, but I need to, I'll demonstrate another day on how to build these exactly. And this was nothing but hay string off your big round hay bales, anywhere from 900 to 1,500 pounds. So you know that string is not going to break, and you don't have to worry about leaving these strung up. They're not going to warp them too much. Oh, I do unhook it sometimes, but you don't have to. It's not a big deal to just leave it strung up because it's not going to warp it. And if it does get weak, throw that one away and make you another one. That's just the way it is. Those are survival bows. They're not made to last. You know, they're just made for using. I'd rather have that kind of bow as have one of them darn bush bows that you tie together with a whole lot of brush. But sometimes you don't have a choice but to take a bunch of gooseberry vines, or straight shafts to use. You don't really have a choice is what I'm saying. Not always. In the bush you got to use what you got. Hey, I'm glad I didn't kill that honeybee. I thought that was some other kind of bee. I think I've wounded him. No, he'll probably never get home now. Wish I'd have known that. I didn't want to kill that honeybee. Didn't realize what it was. Thought it was a spider down there or something. But it was a honeybee. I guess I've damaged him where he can't fly now. He'll probably die. But anyway, hope he don't get mad and sting me now. But anyway, he's a worker bee. He wasn't hurting nothing. My eyes ain't what they used to be. But anyway, back to that. We'll let this dry for 30 minutes or an hour or so, and then we'll get back to this. Back to demonstrating how that arrow shoots. So I'm going to shut off now, and we'll have a part 7, I guess, 6 or 7, video on this, and that way we won't run up all my